Let's now get your COVID-19 related update here with increasing numbers on an average of per day positive cases that the country is seeing now. India has decided to increase its COVID testing in the last few weeks, but according to a Times of India analysis, our testing rate is still extremely low as per global standards as compared to other countries, especially given our population density here as well. While the UK carries out 2.7 lakh tests per 10 lakh population, India carries out just 18,000 for the same number of people. In fact, on the global testing index of the 20 worst affected countries, India stands at a rank of 17, even leaving behind Pakistan, Mexico and Bangladesh. Earlier today, Prime Minister Modi held a video conference meeting with chief ministers of 10 states here to discuss the COVID-19 situation. He has stressed on the importance of increasing testing of some of these states, asking at least 5 of these states to ramp up their testing rates, saying that essentially the bulk of the positive cases, 80% of the country's positive cases here are coming in from these 10 states.
साथियों, टेस्टिंग की संख्या बढ़कर हर दिन 7 लाख तक पहुंच चुकी है और लगातार बढ़ भी रही है। एक्टिव केसेस का प्रतिशत कम हुआ है, रिकवरी रेट लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है, सुधरता जा रहा है। हमने मृत्यु दर को 1% से भी नीचे लाने का जो लक्ष्य रखा है, इसे भी अगर हम थोड़ा और प्रयास करें, बड़े फोकस में प्रयास करें, तो वो लक्ष्य भी हम हासिल कर सकते हैं। बिहार, गुजरात, यूपी, पश्चिम बंगाल और तेलंगाना, यहां टेस्टिंग बढ़ाने पर खास बल देने की बात हम लोगों की बातचीत में से उभर करके आ रही है।
Let's get you more details along these very lines, this argument as far as India's testing rate is concerned, and why is it still being seen as abysmally low, despite assurances that continue to come in that we've increased testing, certain states still need to increase, but as far as the global standards are concerned, or what we're seeing compared to other countries, and the population density, we're still looking at testing in India being extremely low. We have with us our assistant news editor, Avni Raja, getting us further inputs here on where India stands as far as other countries are concerned with respect to our population density and the daily average increase in cases as well. Avni.
Well, that's right, Sahir. Like you pointed out, we've been constantly told that the number of tests, the amount of testing has in fact increased. In fact, just a short while back at the centre's briefing on the COVID situation in the country, once again we were told that the testing numbers have in fact gone up. But if we sort of take a slightly more larger perspective here and look at it from, what other countries are doing around the world, to take you through those numbers, let's look at the top 5 countries. And this is what we're talking about, is the testing per 10 lakh population. So when you look at United Kingdom, that's 2.7 lakh tests are being done per 10 lakh population. Russia, 2.1 lakh for every 10 lakh of the population. US is 1.9 lakhs. Spain is 1.5 lakh and Italy is 1.1 lakh. So for every 10 lakh population, these are the numbers that these 5 countries are doing. Now, if we look at what the bottom 5 countries are doing, and unfortunately that's where India falls at this point in time. We're talking about Argentina first, which does 18,683 for every 10 lakh people. India is doing 17,795 per 10 lakh. Pakistan 9,703, Mexico 8,458, and Bangladesh 7,645. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's still, India is still in the bottom 5 among the countries which is doing much less testing compared to the others.
Avni, please stay on with us because when we talk about testing, not just wanting to look at the global chart and India's rate here, but even within our worst affected 10 states, and these 10 states which were brought into focus while chief ministers had a video conference with the Prime Minister just today, in these 10 states having the bulk of the positive cases in the country. Even within these 10 states, the rate of testing isn't as good.
Yes, absolutely, Seher. So if we just look at, a quick statewise breakup, we're talking about Delhi, which is among the highest comparatively to the other states. We're talking about 59,034 tests per 10 lakh. And the worst is Bihar, which is 8,424 per 10 lakh. And you've also got Maharashtra, which is about 22,144. Telangana, which is about 16,365. Karnataka, which is about 25,730. Kerala is at 27,876. So that's just to give you a sense of what states are really doing in terms of the breakup of testing across the country, Seher.
Avni Raja, many thanks for getting us those details. Undoubtedly, the focus here is to be ramping up testing, despite assurances coming in that we're doing it well, we're doing it at a good rate, but undoubtedly we need to do it more, much more, because we're also getting in a daily increase of a spike in numbers, which is huge. The latest that is come in is of 62,000 plus cases reported in just the last 24 hours.